Love.
With me.
With me.
Not with me. There's a knot at the beginning.
Were you in love with a nun?
Oh my God.
That I was actually hit by a flying object that Sam had chucked when she was channeled.
Is there somebody else here?
The following program has been filmed for your entertainment. Viewers may find some scenes disturbing. Inces Hall is a 200-year-old British military building. You've probably sat in these seats dozens of times without knowing that those who have to come here alone at night often report disembodied voices, ghostly happenings, and a general sense of unease. The fact is that this site is far older than British military history records. A lot happened here in the 1600s when the Spanish Church reigned supreme. Tonight on the Ghost Trail, we'll find out what.
Well, Inces Hall, the actual buildings that we are in today were started in 1790 by the British, and this was the main armory. And later on, they transformed it into the Garrison Recreation Centre, popularly known as the Rec. This is where the garrison used to come for entertainment. Eventually, they built the theatre itself, Inces Hall, that everybody knows in Gibraltar. But we must go further back, because until this building was erected here, this was like an orchard, a field. Remember that we are surrounded by holy establishments, churches. We have the convent, the governor's convent, the Franciscan convent. Here, where this actual building is, used to be the church of San Juan Laterán. And right across the street, we had St. Jago's, la Iglesia de Santiago, also known as the Church of Our Lady of the Rosary. There's a bit of, debate there, but we've always known it as St. Jago's. But we are now on top of the actual cemetery that used to exist here. Remember that in those days they used to bury their dead within the precincts of the churches, of the monasteries. And when they actually started doing this building and they started digging to build the foundations, they discovered many, many skeletons. And some of them were holding rosaries, crucifixes and things like that, which shows you that most probably they were holy people like nuns or priests and the likes, you know. So that is what I can tell you about the history of the place.
Someone could just coming in now. This is a different energy to the gentleman that came through. Here we go.
Out there.
Up there.
Prison.
Prison. Yeah.
We were explained that the place had a very heavily priestly influence because of the churches that were in the area, 3 of them in fact, back in the day, and also the burials that happened underneath the area of Inces Hall. So when the Echovox started to spew out words like priest and such, that was quite interesting, because I think it was one of the first times we were able to correlate a bit of history with what was coming through the Echovox.
We just hold the energy so you can speak.
Wait.
There's lots of babies I'm getting and children as well, that I said as soon as I came and can verify that. Under here. Part of cleansing spirit is cleansing our earth as well, so it will be important. Here we go. It will be important that the work that I'm doing, but a lot of the souls won't like it, Tito. But this religious side of it does. So whatever has happened here shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have happened. It was religion. It shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have happened.
We know a lot about the history from the 300 years that Britain has occupied Gibraltar, but we know very little about what happened before. We know that this particular site was full of churches, and in old churches, they used to bury their dead on the grounds there because it was consecrated ground.
The convent,
No.
San Juan, St. Jacob's, and Nuestra Señora de Rocío. And this is where they used to bury everybody. And we're standing here.
Right on it.
So when I walked
Back on it.
up to the right-hand side, and
This
I
is
said to Kieran,
1627.
there's energy underneath the land, Tito. Would that be on the right-hand side?
It's
as
all
I
over.
walked
It's
in?
the whole place.
The main thing would have been on that side.
No, it's the whole area. The whole area where the building is. Look at it. You see, it's like a field. Oh, see that? There's no buildings. There's a church there, a monastery, and this is its grounds, and people would be buried in their grounds. The same as the convent where the governor lives. That's his gardens,
All this
and
proximity.
people used to be buried in their grounds. St. Jacob's is the same. The people buried here are now buried in the Trafalgar Cemetery. Dig.
So underneath,
Dig.
where I picked up that there's work that needs to be done for
Do you want us
hundreds
to
of
dig
years,
under here?
is what's needed.
They already dug and they found skeletons. That's why I'm telling you. They found skeletons here when they built this place.
that's what they did.
But there must be more.
Yeah.
10 minutes into the investigation, we were all feeling run down. We were drained. We were all feeling a little bit grumpy, with no reason whatsoever. You know, from being perfectly chirpy and happy as we normally are and just getting on with it, just to everybody running on a low battery. And that's something that we can't explain normally. Usually you find one person might be feeling well and another person isn't, but for everybody, the whole crew to be feeling the same is quite weird.
Rose. Something about the rose. Thank you.
Rosary, maybe?
Did you say Rose?
Rose. Thank you. What else are you
Rose?
giving me?
That's one of the churches.
What else are you giving me, please? This is a lady
Nuestra
that's coming
Señora del
through. Just
Rosario.
give me a minute, please. Just let this lady
Well,
come
Rosario's
through.
rosary, isn't
Yeah,
it?
Rosary.
Come on, sweetheart, to give us some more information. I guess you tried to protect the children.
Well,
Yeah, yeah,
male
yeah.
voice.
I heard it. I heard it.
Nuestra Señora del Rosario. Right where we are.
I didn't want to go. For the first time in my whole career, working at this level with the spirit in this hall the night before, I was getting really strong messages that I shouldn't be going or that they didn't want me to go, and that it was a highly religious place. And for me, working at the level I have to protect myself, I'm the machine. So like Lee and Brian have their machines, they're using electronic devices to bring in energy. I'm the machine for the spirit to connect. And it was put so strongly, there was blocks before I was arriving, and it was about religion, it was about abuse of power, and this energy that I ended up letting in and channeling in. He was angry, he had a lot of power, and it was like a battle.
Priest.
Don't like what I'm saying at all.
Priest.
That was
Whoa.
I don't like what I'm seeing at all.
Priest.
Don't like what I'm seeing at all.
Yes,
Yeah,
Don't like what I'm seeing
that's
at
straight
all.
to the point.
Yeah, I know
Priest.
exactly what's been going on.
very clear.
There you go, yeah.
That's the guy we're dealing with.
I wasn't expecting that. But it was surprising to hear the word priest come out very, very clearly on the echo box. It was, without a doubt, we all heard it, and no one doubted they heard. And like a lot of echo box evidence, this was 100% clear. We heard the word priest.
Are you trying to attach to Samantha's energy field?
Yeah.
Are you an inquisitor? Are you an inquisitor? No. Inquisidor? Franciscano? Sí.
See,
dealing with a priest energy. He's working, obviously, from a place in the light, but he's using it in his power. He's using it in a detrimental way, which is why there'll be a lot of poltergeist activity in here.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, yeah, let's create a vortex and bring them in safely.
Yeah.
Guinness. What was it? Long ago, isn't it? Big it.
We were all upstairs in the attic. All of a sudden, they just completely collapsed, as if pushed or moved, or you don't really have an explanation. Or
I've been in and out of this room twice at least since we've been here, and that didn't look to me like it before.
yeah, it just seems to have happened randomly out of the blue.